13 handicap full breakdown video going to look at the main issue of trying to stop swinging in to out. I assume that is too far into out, causing some of these hooks, and looking at each video, you sent over a few. We're going to start with this fairway wood. It looked like a pretty straight shot here, so using a good swing as your first swing, and primary path line is up, decent stance and posture. I know that you're in a 10-finger grip, so you will look to get rid of that with either the interlocking or overlapping, but I just think when you have that 10-finger grip on, you are going to rapidly use your forearms and hands too much through impact, causing a whole ton of club face rotation through strike. If we back up, it's really tough to see from the down the line view, but if you did have a face-on view, it would be easy to see how much you're using your arms and hands to close the face through impact, because at any point, based on your ball position and based on how quick or slow your hands and hips are, that club face can be anywhere with the wrist angles that you have provided, as well as the early extension move that we're going to get into a little bit more detail in the other video here. But with the wood, we're going to talk about a couple different things with your path, not really considering the face angle here because that will be adjusted with the grip. But as far as your path goes, you're going to start pretty nicely with the hands dragging right alongside the path and the club head working slightly to the north side, the upside, and that will continue as you get up toward the top. The movement of your tilts has you lacking in shoulder tilt at this position, but you still manage to fly your trail elbow and get your lead arm a bit upright of the primary path line position. So that usually would cause someone to take that position and come over the top by turning a bit early, but you have not done that. In fact, you do what most people should do when they're trying to stop slicing the ball, is to tuck that trail elbow nice and tight immediately down into the side of your body, but that's a bad move for you because that's too far inside, and with that amount of club face closure, you're going to hit a hook unless you time it up nice like you did on this one. But back to that top position. Left wrist angle's a bit cupped. I can't even get into that. Like I said, with the grip change, that could be anywhere after you change your grip. I like where you are with that arm position, but if you could get more shoulder tilt down, that left shoulder matching the shoulder planed angles, then you could often see much less of a severe drop from the inside. So I think that's good for this video. That one was a pretty heavy into out, but like I said, you get away with it if club face is square and contact is decent. But let's jump to the other video, which I believe is a little bit more clear to see, a couple angles in your swing, as well as get a Tour Pro comparison of someone who maintains tilt angle better than anyone. So let's try to cue him up, and it is Joaquin Niemann. And the size of the video is close. We're going to get a couple lines on both of you to really monitor the movements throughout. So single primary path line, rear end line, and through the spine. Same with the pro over here. I think you know what's coming if you've seen this video. He is notorious for maintaining tilt. If you don't know what that means that the line or angle between lead and trail shoulder should be, well, in a perfect world, close to parallel to the primary path line. Now that can change depending on where you draw it, but using the primary path line as the shaft of the club, he is close to parallel at his P3 position. Also note that he has the overlapping grip position. I've already commented that your P1 to P2 is good, and yes, looks like that club is upright, probably a little bit too far closed in the face, but you've maintained your angles okay. As you get to your P3, arm parallel to the ground position, you do not quite maintain that same parallel to the spine angle amount of tilt as you work flat with the forearms or with the shoulder plane angle. And it is surprising to see that you get your arms as far upright as you do with your shoulder plane being as flat as it is, but you do reverse that by, again, like I said, dropping it from the inside. One of the random checkpoint things you can do from here is just feel like your arms or hands are going from point A to point B down to the golf ball without letting your trail elbow drop so far from the inside. Club face control will still have issues, but all in all that might make you drop it less from the inside as you come back down. But let me clean up a bit and get that line back on you just with the primary path. You can use the black line at the end of the video as the rear end line because it is right up against it. Get you back to P3, and then we're going to go in a little bit more detail, a little slower here. You're going to continue to raise the handle up. Head begins to tilt in as your ear is on this side of the line. Same with our pro Joachim over here. His arms also, I chose him because he likes to go a little bit more upright with his backswing and then have a nice dropping move from the inside. So a ton of frames. I'm going to speed him up here and get him moving upright with the hands, but then similar to you, drops it back down. Pay attention to where his rear end is versus where it started. He's already squatting and sitting much more back on his heels. As soon as you pass that transition point, your right knee is going to go quickly to the golf ball. And that should help you turn a bit, but it also just has you stalling out as you're dropping those hands. Could work a little bit more toward target, but also you're looking to keep your hips back with turn a bit more. So we're going to continue with him and move him down. Keynote being how quickly the left side will disappear and where the trail knee for him will move through strike. Starts to move in towards the golf ball, but then will deviate and work really hard toward target, driving laterally off the back foot and moving that back knee down toward target. Also a move that is really patented to Joachim is how much tilt he has at his impact. He has gained a ton of right shoulder tilt down with that trail elbow connection. Now you have all of these type of moves or connections with your arms to your body, but you don't have this key one, which I'm going to try to bold. The amount of spine tilt remaining down. You've remained down so far to this point here, but playing it through, as you early extend, you really jump and disrupt that spine angle through impact. As soon as you jump or early extend, that tends to trigger the hands to go like they do through this impact area. So there's a ton of face rotation, as I have mentioned before. If you can, maintain your tilts down, which simply, but not easily, means keeping your right shoulder below the left and your rear end turning open as much as you can. You can see almost his full rear end at impact. You start looking like you're really going to get into that position, but then stall, jump, and flip. Continue to stay down on the ball, continue to turn your hips, and see how that allows you to keep that face more open through strike. So a few movements on the body. I'll write up a note section for you here to really clear things out, but feel free to rewatch this video a few times to maybe pick up on a couple things that I might have said that you might have missed. Send a swing for a full breakdown video like this. This is the Elite Breakdown. SendASwing.com.